Have you ever found yourself reflecting on the actions of Jesus in the 3 days that spanned his departure from this world and his triumphant return? This time frame, enigmatic and full of mysteries, intrigues many of us. "It is finished," he declared, in a moment that marked history as narrated in the Gospel of John. After uttering such words, he surrendered, concluding his earthly journey. His body, removed from the cross not long afterward, was prepared for eternal rest by Joseph of Arimathea, with Nicodemus contributing to this act of compassion. 3 days later, the unimaginable happened. Jesus returned to life in an event that defied logic and expectations. But the great question lingers. What was Jesus doing during these 3 days of absence? Where did he go? What was his mission during this interval? The biblical texts, particularly the Gospels, are sparse in details about this phase, also known as the conquest of Hades. The accounts focus more on the moments leading up to his sacrifice and on the miracle of his resurrection. However, it is suggested that Jesus was not in a state of inactivity. It is believed that he was on a mission of utmost importance, to proclaim his victory over death and to liberate souls eager for salvation. This period was not one of rest, but rather of intense activity and significance, where Jesus was changing the foundations of history and spirituality. Therefore, as we remember the story of Easter, it is crucial to recognize that the 3 days of silence were, in fact, a chapter filled with action and love, an unprecedented demonstration of redeeming power. This is just one of the many mysteries that make up the richness of the Christian faith. How about we delve deeper together into this exploration of such significant events? Let's uncover more about this fascinating period where the landscape of faith is filled with twists and revelations. The saga between Jesus' departure from this world and his triumphant return is filled with layers and interpretations that challenge our understanding. This journey, though not detailed extensively in the scriptures, is illuminated by glimpses and dialogues that Jesus had, revealing a bit about his steps during this mysterious interval. For instance, at the peak of his agony, crucified, Jesus shares words of hope with one of the criminals by his side. This man, recognizing the majesty of Jesus, asks to be remembered when Jesus ascends to his kingdom. Jesus, with love and certainty, promises, "Today you will be with me in paradise." This exchange, as simple as it is profound, suggests that Jesus' immediate destiny was paradise, a realm of eternal peace and love, where he would rest in the hands of the Father. Moreover, the scriptures offer us another intriguing clue, particularly in the book of 1 Peter. The text recounts that Jesus, even after his death, did not cease his mission. He went in spirit to a place where souls had been waiting since the days of Noah, preaching and offering redemption. This magnificent act shows us a facet of Jesus that goes beyond human comprehension, a savior who crosses dimensions to bring light where there is shadow. Imagine then, if we allow ourselves Jesus not just resting in peace, but as a divine explorer, crossing spiritual borders to announce liberation to the captives. It is an image of love and sacrifice so vast that it encompasses not just the living, but also those in wait, eager for redemption. This narrative invites us to contemplate not just the immensity of Jesus' love, but also his unbreakable mission of salvation, which challenges the very barriers of death. As we dive into this story, we are transported beyond words to a place of reflection and wonder. As we share these moments, we're reminded that the heart of Easter lies in hope, renewal, and the vibrant promise of new life. Thus, come with us on this exploration, not merely as an observer, but as someone who lives and breathes the transformative journey of faith, love, and liberation. May this story be an invitation for all of us, regardless of where we are on life's journey, to open ourselves to the depths of love that transcends all we know. This interpretation of the events that occurred between the death and resurrection of Jesus opens a fascinating panorama on the magnitude of his mission and victory. The idea that Jesus descended to Hades, or hell, to make a decisive announcement to the spirits imprisoned there, offers us a vision of a moment of unprecedented spiritual triumph. These spirits, which might include fallen angels to demons, were confronted with the definitive declaration of Jesus' victory over darkness, a victory that marked the beginning of a new chapter in the history of salvation. Following this line, the episode of Noah's flood is evoked to indicate the moment of these spirits' transgression, a prelude to the revelation that their rebellion against God would find its conclusion in Jesus' triumph. While the biblical text does not specify the exact nature of Jesus' message to these spirits, it is suggested that it was not an offer of redemption, given that angels, as pointed out in Hebrews, do not partake in the salvation promised to humans. Thus, Jesus' proclamation can be seen as an affirmation of his unquestionable victory over the forces of evil, a milestone of his supremacy over death and evil. Moreover, Ephesians offers us a glimpse of Jesus' triumph in his ascension, describing him as the liberator of captives, an act symbolizing the reunification of the redeemed with God in his heavenly dwelling. This passage not only emphasizes Jesus' victory over evil, but also celebrates the liberation and ascent of those who were awaiting redemption in paradise, marking their definitive entrance into heaven. To bring this narrative to life, imagine Jesus as an epic hero who, after a decisive battle, crosses the borders between worlds. On one side, he faces and overcomes the shadows of Hades, proclaiming his conquest over the powers of darkness. On the other, he ascends triumphantly, leading the redeemed through the celestial spheres to their eternal home. It is a vibrant story of challenge, victory, and redemption, resonating as a testimony to the incomparable power of divine love and grace. This account is an invitation to contemplate the depth and breadth of Jesus' triumph, a journey that transcends human understanding and reminds us that there is no darkness. His light cannot penetrate, no prison from which he cannot liberate. As we share this story, we are all invited to marvel at the magnitude of his power and to celebrate the hope and freedom he offers us. This profound vision offers an extraordinary understanding of what Jesus accomplished, not just on Calvary, but also in the days following his death. He was far from inert. He was undertaking the monumental task of defeating death, proclaiming his triumph, and paving our way towards salvation. As we share this account, our enchantment with divine power intertwines with the recognition that we are heirs to this extraordinary victory. Imagine emblematic characters from biblical history, such as Abraham, David, Joshua, Daniel, and Lazarus, along with the redeemed thief on the cross, all justified by faith, being escorted by Jesus from Hades, the dwelling of the dead, to a spiritual rebirth. These are figures who, despite being separated by centuries of history, share a singular moment of liberation, led by Jesus at the dawn of a new era. Ephesians chapter 4 gives us another perspective, suggesting that in this interlude between death and resurrection, Jesus dismantled and imprisoned the forces that antagonize us, Satan, death, and the stigma of sin. Ascending triumphantly to heaven, he celebrates his conquest. This interpretation is echoed in Matthew chapter 12, verse 40, where Jesus' stay on earth is symbolized by Jonah's journey in the belly of the whale, a prefiguration of his victory over death and the promise of redemption. Although the sacred texts do not detail every event of those 3 days minutely, and interpretations vary among Christian traditions, the words of Jesus provide us a foundation. Today, you will be with me in paradise. This reinforces the certainty that, after announcing his victory and fulfilling his redemptive mission, he ascended to paradise. To narrate this story is to weave a connection not only with a legacy of faith, but also with an epic saga of liberation and conquest. It reminds us that, regardless of the adversities we face, we are enveloped in the promise of a final victory and redemption. These accounts are sources of inspiration and hope, reaffirming our participation in a grandiose story, saturated with faith, courage, and triumph. Therefore, as we unfold these events, our goal is to sharpen curiosity and interest, inviting everyone to reflect on the immensity of Jesus' journey and the enduring impact of his actions, which stretch across centuries and continue to influence our lives. With this narrative, we seek not only to inform, but also to inspire, inviting each listener to see themselves as part of this monumental narrative of love, sacrifice, and eternal victory. This profound vision offers an extraordinary understanding of what Jesus accomplished, not just on Calvary, but also in the days following his death. He was far from inactive. He was undertaking the monumental task of defeating death, proclaiming his triumph, and paving our way towards salvation. As we share this account, our awe of the divine power intertwines with the recognition that we are heirs to this extraordinary victory. Thus, as we reflect and share these stories, we see ourselves as active participants in the continuation of the faith, hope, and love that Jesus embodies. Each narrative, each reflection, brings us closer to understanding the depth of his sacrifice and triumph, uniting believers and seekers alike in an ongoing journey of discovery and reverence towards the immense power of divine love. If you liked this video, leave a like, comment what you thought, and subscribe to the channel. Activate notifications so you don't miss any videos. Until next time, and God bless you.